So welcome back to the channel, and welcome to a beautiful frozen nature reserve in the Netherlands. And it's a real foggy day. I don't know if you can see it behind me if I put the headlight away. It's just beautiful foggy conditions. There's some ice on the water, some frost on these plants here in the foreground. And I actually wanted to go to a different location, but the fog was very thick when I left home, and I could feel that all the streets were slippery. And when I was in the car, I heard on the news that there was a massive traffic jams across the country because of accidents. And on those cases, I always think to myself, let's stay close to home. You know, these foggy conditions can transform an area into a magical place. So there's no need to go far away and end up in a traffic jam and miss the most beautiful part of the morning. So I just chose the closest location to home here, and it's just beautiful. And I'm actually looking at, see if we can see it here, this tree over here. I've got my eye on it for a long time now, and all this heather in the foreground is frozen, beautiful white frost on top of it. And I'm positioning the camera really low, and I actually need a 60-second exposure because it's still so dark to get this shot. But there's no wind at all, so it doesn't matter. And with the haze around this tree, the shape of it, this frozen heather, it just creates a nice winter moody image. So absolutely worth taking this shot. So right now I'm taking these shots, and I'm taking one again because I'm afraid I might have used a lamp in the image. So the only thing I forgot is my hat. I forgot my hat. Stupid. It's very cold. But I'm really looking forward to see how this place looks when the sun is up. But even before the sun is up, I can take some nice images. So so sorry about that. But this is the image that I just shot, and a sort of a pre-sunrise dawn image. Yeah, like it. I really like it. So I'm still in the same spot here, but I've changed the position of the camera a little bit so I can take a portrait orientated shot of this tree with a lot of this frozen heather in the foreground, and then this beautiful frozen tree on top here. And why I chose this particular spot, and I hope you can see it, is that there is a bit of a dark line through the heather where there's no heather, but it's going into the direction of this tree. So it just forms sort of a leading line towards that beautiful tree there. And that's why I chose this particular composition. So once again, I'm taking multiple shots, but this time I just want this beautiful frosty heather to be as crisp as possible. So normally I'm not so bothered by heather that's not in focus in my foreground, but right now I took 3 shots. So one on the piece of heather here straight in front, a bit on the heather in the middle, and one on the tree in the back. So I'm taking 3 shots, and I'm gonna focus stack those together, and then hopefully I will have one crisp sharp shot from front to back. You know, there's no wind, so all these leaves are perfectly still, so it should be a very great shot. So if all this works out, then this is the second shot. So right now I'm on the second spot that I've noticed. You know, I've walked here a dozen of times, but I try to look at things that are different, you know, things that aren't here on the normal day. And I know behind this tree that I'm looking at right now, it's normally a very busy background, so a shot like this is only possible on a foggy day like today. And I noticed this path running towards the tree there, so I'm trying to use this as a leading line to the tree on top with all this frozen heather on the side. And I'm not quite sure about it. I've been moving the camera around for a couple of minutes here, but I still haven't found or figured out the best position, so I'm just gonna push the shutter and see what it will be. And yeah, sometimes you just have to try stuff, you know, and see at home if it worked out or not. And sometimes you just see something, you have something in your mind and it just doesn't work, you know. You can try, you can walk around here for hours, but the shot just isn't there. And I'm actually, while I'm talking to you, I'm actually figuring out what's wrong with this image. So I'm trying to make it as a portrait orientated shot. You see behind me, so it's about this tree over here, this one, and I'm trying to lead this towards the tree. And while I'm talking to you, I'm thinking to myself, square, a square image, that's what the problem is. So I'm gonna frame it up again, see if I can find a nice square position with that tree on the left top and this path leading to the right top, and see if it works. So if this shot works out, and I don't know, maybe landscape, portrait, square, you will see right now. So I was just shooting 1.20 meters to the back here behind me, and I just looked to the left and I noticed this beautiful group of trees here, and I had to move a little bit closer to get some separation between that right tree and the group of trees. And I still had the camera in the 1x1 format square for that last image, and it works so nicely, so nicely. So a real minimalistic winter feel image here. And let me show you on the back of the camera here what I'm talking about. And I can't show you the screen, it's way too bright. You can see I'm trying here, but I underexposed it, overexposed it, but it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna try to show it to you like this. If you put a square around this and you put 1/3 here of this beautiful frozen heather and then this group of trees in the fog, it just looks amazing. So there's nothing fancy going on here setting wise, you know. This is just a real easy shot actually. Let's have a look. I'm just taking it at f8 because I do want this heather to be in focus in the foreground. And then ISO 200, I'm overexposing it a little bit to first of all to keep that histogram to the right and reduce noise a little bit. But it's also nice if these white frozen ice crystals on those leaves are a little bit brighter, you know. It just gives more of that winter feel. If you lower the exposure, they turn a little bit gray instead of white, and I don't really like that. So yeah, really happy with this shot. It's always wondering when you are at home if you're still having the same feeling of this image, but right now I'm very happy with this this particular image. And yeah, taking the shot, and this is it. So I figured out another nice shot here, and it's actually the same tree that I photographed this morning as my first shot, but it's from the opposite side. So I'm now on the other side of this tree, and you see all these beautiful frozen grasses here, a little bit of this lake, and it just leads towards this tree over there. And I actually see two shots here. I see a portrait shot with this shoreline going towards this tree, and I see a 16:9 shot with this tree on the right, these beautiful grasses, and then on the end of that peninsula on the left side there's also a fake little tree, a small one. So I'm thinking about a 16:9 shot over there, so without this foreground. I have no idea which one works out best, but I think they're both pretty nice actually. So taking both these shots, and yeah, I think they're pretty nice. And I'm actually going to take another one now that I'm looking at it, and that's a portrait orientated one with a different lens. So this is with the 12-40, but I want to see how it looks if I zoom in with the 40-150 with that tree on top and this beautiful frozen grass here as my foreground. So I'm going to switch lenses and see if I can get that shot, because it looks promising. Let's have a look at this shot. Yeah, it's looking exactly what I had in mind. Really moody, winter cold image, you know. It's a real, this is the kind of shot that I like to shoot in winter time, you know. So yeah, let's take this image. So every now and then you have this situation that you think, I'm just trying something, taking a snapshot, and you're thinking, this is nothing, and you're walking away from the scene. So that just happened to me. I took a snapshot there, walked away, and while walking away I was looking on the back of my camera here, and I thought to myself, ooh, this is actually pretty nice. So I walked into this field to get even a better angle here, and let me show you what it is about. It's about this one little tree that's standing right over there, and you can see this background is really dark. This foreground is completely frozen with all these frosty ice crystals on these grasses. So what I'm doing, I'm making two halves of the image. So one half is this light frosty foreground and this dark background, and then just one tree in the middle, and it just looks really good. And yeah, I was hoping to find a portrait orientated shot actually. So I wanted to move a little bit more to this side, but I already got a really nice landscape orientated one. But I'm just trying to find a position where I have as much as this frosty foreground as possible. So I think this is kind of like the right spot here. So let's have a look. Put you down for a second. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is nice. So I think I just shot my favorite image of the day. There are two trees down there, little trees with frost all over them, but you can see that background forest there is completely dark. So these two trees stand out here right now because of this frost on its leaves and branches. But this is only possible on a day like today, where you have those frozen branches on this tree and this darker background. So it's really moody. The only thing is, if I'm shooting it from up here, I'm on a bit of a higher vantage point here. The tree disappears into the ground, but it's not allowed. There's a little fence here actually, but I sneaky just walked down there, got on eye level with the tree, and then this tree is just in front of this beautiful dark forest, and it's just so good, you know. It's so good. I just love images like this. So yeah, nothing fancy going on composition wise. It's all about that tree. And there's actually another tree on the right side just next to it, which looks a little bit similar by shape. So I got those two trees next to each other in the frame. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. So this is that shot. So what a spot I'm in right now. You know, I just took that last shot, which I really liked, and within maybe 5 minutes after it, I found two more shots that have my name written all over them. You know, I just really like that. You can see here, if you look at the opposite side of this pond here, there are a couple of trees there standing before that dark forest in the background with a little bit of haze, and there is just a slightly bit of light coming through that haze at the moment, creating such a magical, atmospheric, moody shot. And then you have these trees that have no leaves on them. They're not dead trees, they're just in their winter condition. But they're just so nice, and they work so really nice as an atmospheric image. You know, not much going on, just it's all about that one tree, and that's it, you know. And I just shot those two trees over on the other side. Yeah, and I just loved them. So these are those two shots that I'm just talking about, and I'm taking the first one with the 40 to 150. That's the right one, a bit of the bigger one, and then on the left side there's a bit of a smaller tree, and I'm taking that one with the 100 to 400 because I need that little bit of more reach to get there. But they only work from this side of the pond. You know, if I get close to them, the treetops will be above that high tree line in the back. But because I'm a little bit higher on this side of the pond, I can keep the complete tree in front of this dark row of trees, creating those magical, intimate shots that I always really like. So yeah, enough talking. Those are the two shots. So this is the end of today's video. Yeah, my time is up. I hope you like this frosty, cold winter morning. I've got a really cold hat, so next time I have to remember to bring my hat. But yeah, totally worth it. Absolutely great conditions. Fog, atmosphere, cold, frost, ice crystals. I've seen it all today. So please let me know in the comments what you think of these images. I always like to engage with the people watching. So yeah. thanks for watching. So if you like the video, don't forget to push that thumbs up button. You will massively help this channel to grow. And there's a subscribe button underneath this video, here or here, I don't know, somewhere down here. And if you push that and you select all on the notification bell, you will get a message when I release my next video. So it's totally free, you don't have to pay anything for it, but you just get a message when I release the next video. So that's always on Thursday and Sunday. And yeah, hopefully a lot more of these beautiful winter mornings for the next couple of months. So thanks for watching, hope to see you next week. Bye bye.